keeps coming back, trying to hold on. Let me go. Set me free.
Hello. Hello. Good day. How is everyone out there in the intranetosverse? I should probably turn. Oh, those are on. Never mind. So I'm sort of working with a new setup. Only in the sense that, you know, I could sort of lean back a little bit here, chill out for a second. Let's see. Manage the stream. I gotta manage the stream. Okay. Maybe I'll go tell some people I'm live right now, huh? I gotta jump on this Nurgle. That's what's up. You trying to? All right. Let me try and get my dog up here. Are you being silly, buddy? Come on up, buddy. Can see his tail. Come here, Fox. Come here. So his brother got sent to the vet to get his scrotum reduced by 2 nuts. So we'll see how that goes, right? All right. Oh yeah, I was making a little announcement, right? Okay, and maybe a little shout out on Maybe a little shout out on the Scram too. On the gram, getting on the gram, gram, getting on the gram. Call me Martha, cause I'm on the gram. Sorry, that was a bad one. Doodle doot doot doot. All right, let's get a quick little postage osty going on here. There we go. A little story gory. Okay, oop, and now let's go back and manage the Twitch stream, right? Alright, there we go, there we go. That's why shit is weird. I don't have my specs on. I'm back. Hey, now I can see. I can see clearly now, the smudge is gone. I think that's something that all, like, old dad heads do. Is they sing that song whenever you say, I can see. Anytime they need to say the words, I can see, or clearer, or any of that shit, they immediately start singing that song. It's like, you have to. It's written in the rules of daddom. One must sing song. All right, here we go. Oh, it's peeking into the screen. Gotta keep it from doing that. Let's turn this guy here. Maybe try and come here a little bit. Re-kafooble. Decent. Let's see what happens if we zoom in here a little bit. I can scoot over a little bit. It's not bad. I got light on my eyes. Not bad. There we go. This is a great setup. Well, look who's here. Look who came to hang out. The Foxing Bean. The littlest Swampus. Alright. So I'm still kind of just working on my Plague Bearers goop. I'm trying to figure out how I want to paint some of their swords. I did and so this is what the old swords look like. Like very haphazardly gooped. Which I don't hate. I think I might just stick with it so that they all look like they have the same sword. And it's literally a combination. You can see I even used some of the Typhus. Wow, I used Typhus Corrosion. I mean, it looks like this dude doesn't even have his spots done. Dude, did I not? Okay, so that guy needs 1 second. Where? It looks like... Yeah, I'm just like finding Nurglings in the... Oh, and some Chaos Marines that need some gooping. Appreciate that. I have so many Plague burrers. They are bearers of the plarg. Let's just get some more of these jokers down here. Sloppity Beal Peel. And really all I need for a decent little list is my Spoilpox Scrivener. Little Scrivener action. Sloppity B is max juice for all demons, and the Spoilpox Scrivener is pretty much just a Plague Bear booster. But now that the Plague Drones have keyword Plague Bear, that means that this dingus also totally boostinates what was I saying? Totally boosts the Plague Drones as well, right? Because Plague Drones are keyword Plague Bear now, so that's like a pretty decent upgrade, honestly. Really helps Plague Bearers go the potato mile, as it were. It really does give them some more legs there. So I think I got to go through and do, basically we're still on the orange patrol, so I got to go find some of the bears that I just found that do not have all of their bits and bobs kafoobled, if that makes sense. I gotta do all their sores. Long story short, I'm doing sores. One sec, I'm actually gonna take a trip because I gotta get some fresh water, and then that'll put us right in the zone to go. First, I would just message. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Little man is back. Yeah, I need my headphones, little boy. Alrighty. Alright, so let's get... I think this is Raza, which I don't need yet. These are basically... Again, my sores are... You start with the Fire Dragon, and then you go straight into the Contrast Griff Hound, and then I will do my yellow layering later. Alright, one sec. I gotta go put a little bit of water in this paint too. Nice swerve, dude. And it's still a little goopy, and like that's okay, because I can figure that out as I go myself. And I think it was this too. Yeah, I really like this too. Foxy's barking. Okay, let's find a couple of these peebers that really need the orange on them, huh? I have really enjoyed this, almost like getting into this like two-tone scenario with the limbs and stuff, just like really putting a lot of variation into my plague bearers. And it helps for it's one of those player aids that can actually really help with like basically bookkeeping. Hey, if you're gonna come up here, don't be crazy. Fox just jumped up behind me and was, we call it strickling. He's like kicking his legs back, and that usually means he either went pee or took a drink of water, and in this case, probably took a drink of water. Came up here, hang out and be a dingus. Something he's really good at. Number one power, dingus. Yeah, it takes so much like time and consideration with these boils, and it's interesting because then I just straight up slap them with the contrast, and then I go back over them with yellow, and it's like, why so many layers? And it's like, you know what, I'm not even exactly sure, other than I just like the way that they turn out. They just got a vibe to them when I do it this way. Gonna be in a D&D campaign. It technically starts this weekend, but I will be out of town again. Shocker, right? But I did have to make a character, so that's been sort of the fun homework I've had. Kind of started last night, and I think I'm probably gonna do some kind of like dwarf barbarian. I think that's but with like a heavy influence or inclination, I want to make sure that he is brewing beer, and instead of like classic like a great axe or anything like that, he's gonna have a warhammer and a sickle. Hammer and sickle. And that's really so hopefully I can use that sickle to harvest grasses and grains to brew some good stuff up. My speed is a little down from where it used to be. Gotta pick it up a notch. Right, and this is a classic example where most people will be like, oh, it's Nurgle, you can just like be sloppy, it's supposed to be a sword. And it's like, well, but like your sword just doesn't like spread. Like it's swollen in the space where it's swollen. It's not like just wherever. It's like it's like pretty fucking specific. So gonna like try and adhere to that a little bit, you know? It just makes it look better to me. I appreciate it. I also am interested in going to a tournament possibly this November. My wife is on the push for me to go. I'm a little hesitant, but I think it would be good for me to go duke it out. I also need to get some games in though, so I gotta find if there's like a name. Yeah, it says I'm back as of 34 fucking seconds ago. Oh yeah, when this is done, remind me. I think today's project, baby, I'm gonna try and get these all up on YouTube. Excuse me. I love how this dude's licking it. Yeah, I'm excited for where I think the Nurgle demons are going in the codex. You know, I'm not trying to be that person that just like totally either says "I told you so" or yucks somebody's yum, but like y'all riding high on the Blight King spam fucking game for so long. You're gonna get punched right in the nuts, you guys. GW does not let that kind of shit fly. If your army was hella good as a mono build, that shit's gonna get nerfed. Because they want you to buy more shit. I would not be surprised if they come up with some really interesting synergy that's like, Blight Kings are super good for every unit of whatever else you have, but until then, they're dog shit. So you'll be like, oh, how do I use my Blight King? And they'll be like, dude, you just gotta like buy more models, dog. Because if there's one thing we've seen recently that GW is like no longer really trying to hide, is that they absolutely just want you to buy more models. Like, and not just like, oh yeah, we want you to buy more because that's what we do, but like, no, we're willing to like nerf your fucking army. And sure, you can still play with it, right? Like, there's points and stuff like that. We're not just gonna say you don't have models. We're not gonna like Magic the Gathering just like ban it, or you know, I mean they do sometimes, right? I mean, I guess some things have moved to like legendary in different gaming systems, but not usually. That's like usually for only something that's pretty old or outdated or whatever. And it's funny to me usually too, the people who are complaining about that too have had the like army or model since like 93, haven't added anything to it because there's not anything to add, and then they get so fucking bent out when it's like, hey, but you just nerfed my whole army. And it's like, dude, when was the last time that was like a viable anything? And not that it's still not a feels bad, but like, you didn't see that coming. Stream looks great. Thank you. Stream is looking good. My stream is looking good. I think I just did an orange nipple again. God damn it. Sometimes I'm just looking for raised surfaces to paint orange and I'm like, oh, that's a sword. Fuck no, that's his nipple. I still don't know why plague bears even have nipples. Doesn't make any sense to me. What are plague bears doing with their nipples? Nipple. Okay. I should really be putting all of these guys that need freshies in the same area, but I might just go through, give everybody a little more splorkin. Because this guy's fresh. Fresh? Those guys are all fresh. Alright, I guess I do sort of have them grouped a little bit. It's not bad. Dee-loo-doo. But as I was saying, I'm looking for that. You know, we do have an increase in stonks right now for Nergs. Nergs got high stonks. Nergs got high stonks, especially demons. I mean, demons specifically, I should say. Absolutely have high stonks. Looking to lean into that in a tournament season, because they do have a locus, which means whenever a demon unit is next to a demon hero, they get a little bonus. And the Plague Bearer bonus is actually really good now. It actually makes me even want to play my wife again. Plague Bearers get +1 to armor save. And when they're next to a Scrivener, and if you used all-out defense, you could get them to a pretty easy 2-up save. 2-up, 5-up, honestly. Which is like a little crazy. And they get their -1 if the unit has 10 or more, not 20 or more like it used to be. If they have 10 or more, they get -1 to hit, and that is both from shooting and in combat, as long as there's 10 or more. So it looks like I gotta go pick it up another unit of Plague Bearers. Good thing I'm not running a Horde army. Oh wait. So that I can have 2 units of 20. 2 units of 20, and then my Puscoils. 2 units of 20, Spoilpox Shrivener, Sloppity Bile Piper, I really wish Nurgling were battle line. Like, even if it was like a sub-allegiance you had to take for them to be battle line, that would be too good. There's a lot of people who don't like Nurglings. And, I'm not exactly sure. Well, let me change the chat box size here. Why is it like select all? There we go. We're back. You know, I've always been just like a massive Nurgling fan. I think they're one of the coolest little pieces of IP that G-Dubs actually has. I think it's stupid when GW tries to like sort of lean in and take other IP again, or like stuff that seems to be in like a public domain and be like, oh, no, that's our, no, we were the first ones that said Space Marine. Like, okay. Historically, you totally were not. Um, so don't get fucked. Um, and I wish they would just, like I was saying, lean into some of this stuff that they already have some really good. It's really good IP. Hey, look who it is. How goes it? Falico, it is good. It is good. I saw your most recent creature, many-eyed creature in the Discord, looking cool. Yeah, like I said, I thought I was done, and I found more plague bearers. I was like, wow, I did all these? It seems like that wasn't that many plague bearers. Because it wasn't. It wasn't all my plague bearers. I have so many of these things. And if I plan on doing a tournament this fall, which I'm leaning more and more towards, my army's got to be painted. And that means getting these guys going. But yes, it goes. How was your weekend? Did you have a nice weekend? Relaxing and such? Or are you one of the few of the proud weekend warriors? I had to go to Discord to figure out which creature you were talking about. Oh. I call that one testicle with teeth. That makes sense. It's got like a ball bag shape to it. It's great. I'm a fan. Not of testicles having teeth, but of that particular one is good. As good. It is good. Oh man, could have been better for sure. Sorry you were feeling under the weather the weekend. Glad you're a little bit on the mend. Well, at least I hope so. As you can see, I'm just trying to go through and find the last, like, little bits that don't seem to be painted here. Get them taken care of. Because there are quite a few. Quite a few. Also, while you were sick, did you have a chance to sort of jump into the Warhammer universe, see what else is going on in and around the universe? Yesterday was fine. Day before today, felt like poop. Hooray for lockdown. I'm totally blaming the lockdown for this. I left the house for the first time in a month, so... Oh. I'm back. And I'm back-to-back sick. Yeah, my condolences to you there, with the funeral. Hope you're doing okay. And, yes, on... I got sick a little bit too, coming back from, you know, travels on vacation and everything like that, so I totally get that. You know, everybody has like our immune systems got like really weakened. Um, so of course any outside contact, anything we're doing, oot in a boot, really puts us in a compromised state. Back to back sick though, man. That's just a lot to like endure. Just being sick so much. Okay, decent, coming along. There's just so many like little gubbins, and I love these little. I love how I painted these heads here. This is I don't necessarily think my immune system is weakened. I just think that if I had gotten these colds all by themselves by interacting with the public, it would have been fine. But now I'm getting multiple. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I maybe. I mean, yet I get what you're saying about getting them like spaced out over, but I think all of our immune systems are a little weak because again, we just haven't had this same because of lockdown, right? Like we just haven't had the exposure that we normally would. Not like you have just in general a weak immune system. We just all sort of do because we haven't even been exposed to each other. Do you know what I mean? Like my immune system is weaker than it normally is. I live in New York City. Normally my immune system is like beast mode. It's like germs from all over the fucking galaxy showing up here. No, it's like one little thing and it's like, you're decapacitated. So, I get that though. It's just rough. Just rough. There we go. The little teeth on his belly. Rawr. Love those. How we doing here with this? Yeah, this guy needs... There's so many sores that have not been addressed with this munchkin. So this is the Sloppity Bile Piper. He's got like a marionette head. He plays like a bagpipe made from intestines. He does some pretty decent troop boosting, which I love. He's a big buff piece. He's a big buff piece. Especially with a whole bunch of the new rules. If you're not running a Sloppity Bile Piper as a Nurgle player, unless you're playing all mortals, you are doing it wrong, my friend. Unless you're running all mortals, which at this point I think running all mortals is doing it wrong because the bonuses that the Scriveners and the Sloppity Bile Pipers can give to demons and specifically the Plague Bearers cumulatively, you can make some really mean like juiced up units. Because the Spoil Pox gives you can give you +1 attack, +1 save. This guy can give you can give you +1 attack, or 6's proc morts, if you're so inclined. So there's like a lot of, and those are stackable. So I'm a big fan of the +1 save on the plague bearers. It makes them incredibly durable. Just so incredibly durable. Because they're a 5-up, 5-up normally. And you give them an extra save, +1 to save, so then they go 4-up, 5-up. Then you can even, like, lean into that again. Well, because the plague bearers, as long as there's a demon hero close to them, they get +1 to their save. So now they're at a 3-up, and if you did all-out defense, that'd be a 2-up, -1 to hit from shooting in close combat. So that's like that's not bad. Not bad at all. Madless Hawk, sad girls in the house. And I sort of moved how I'm streaming too. Normally this is the backdrop you get up here, and I kind of like fixed it so I could lounge back on my couch every now and then in between some of the painting sessions, because you know, it's just is what it is, and we all need a little break here and there. On 40k frequency. So I need some context on 40k frequency. Talk to me about what you mean by frequency. $40k, 41st millennium. 'Tis the future. 'Tis in the far, far future. And that's not, what's interesting is that's not even 40k from us, honestly. That's like 40k, like there was probably like 300,000 years that happened from now until then. From now until the beginning of when they started keeping track. I was watching Duck Guts, and he was talking about how he'd only played 12 games of it and he was still a complete noob. Yeah, so what's interesting about Warhammer, right, is there's lots and lots and lots and more of those lots of like rules and synergies and things that happen. How many games until someone is not a noob? I mean, that just depends on a person and how comfortable they are with gaming, honestly. Is that based on how well they studied the lore? Gaming has literally nothing to do with lore and everything to do with rules, right? Like, there's people who play competitive Warhammer that basically know nothing about lore. Nothing. And those of us who kind of like hobby all around, that hurts our hearts some. But you don't need to know shit all about the lore to know like what a unit does and what synergies it has. And yeah, you really don't have to know anything about the lore to have that worked out. It really is, you know, to not be a noob, there's a level of what knowing what your army does and how to play. So 40k specifically, like, what are your primary objectives? That's whatever the particular map is. The map will tell you how many, like, how many objectives, how you hold them, what kind of troops can hold them. And then you get to pick your secondary objectives. And you want to pick secondary objectives based on things you think your army obviously can achieve during that battle. And then piloting, right? So you may hear this term that's like net list, and that's a list somebody got from the internet. A lot of net lists are like either tournament lists or somebody's run through. You know, I use like like an analyzer bot for some of my AOS lists, and it gives you, you know, some predictive data as to how good it is probably going to perform. But again, if you don't know how to pilot, if you're not good at positioning and using, you know, either your buff pieces or a spell or a particular ability that requires you to basically like action it, or there's things called CP, which are command points. You get so many command points to be able to use types of strategy or stratagem, and they, you know, requires you spending a command point to give a unit a buff or take a buff away from an enemy or straight up do damage to an enemy. I mean, there's so many stratagem, and again, there's like a little pool of ones that are available to everybody, and then there are a lot that are very specific to armies, and knowing what your stratagem are and when to use them and on what units. Like there, like I said, when I said there was a lot of rules, there are a lot of rules, and you know, the rule book, or excuse me, let's say AOS, like AOS has like free rules a lot of the times, and it's the war scrolls you can look at online. So basically like what the stats are free in AOS. 40k you have to buy those basically through a book or an ebook, and that, great, like you learned yours, and you can actually get really good at your own army and piloting your own army. But you can get caught in some pretty rough traps, right? If you don't know what another person's army does. Now, excuse me, in most tournaments and when you're playing somebody, you should be able to ask, and they kind of have to tell you what something does, because like a gotcha strategy or ploy, right, will only work against you once. And so it shouldn't even be a thing where it's like, aha, you didn't know this unit did a thing, and now I punched you in the dick. It's like, okay, cool. That doesn't mean you're better at strategy or the game than me. That means I played this one unit this one time that I didn't know what it did, and you didn't bother telling me, and so you let me play a shitty play against that thing, and you dick stomp me. Like, I won't ever make that play again, and now I know what that unit does. So you'll never get that advantage again, and for you to lean into that advantage one time is pretty stupid. It's just like really petty. Again, if you're playing in a tournament, they have to tell you what a unit does. Now, if you don't ask, they don't. It's not like they have to be like, well, this is going to do this. Do you want to make that charge? But you can always ask and be like, hey, does this unit have a counter charge mechanism? Like, hey, is there a range that if I get so close to this unit, it pops something? You know, like, you can ask something kind of arbitrary, and they might still be trying to guard and be like, oh, yeah, it pops something. Okay, well, what is it that does? You know, like, sometimes you got to lean in and ask that question a little harder, which gets a little annoying. But they again, a lot of tournaments, like, they have to tell you. So when somebody says they're a noob after, like, 12 games, right? Like, if you're new to tabletop gaming, or you can kind of think of it as like a slow RTS as well, right? So like a StarCraft, a Warcraft, a Command and Conquer, or something along those lines. Because it's just it's resource management, the game, right? And your CP are a unit, are a resource for the different chaos gods. You actually collect different types of points in game that let you summon demons, and every god does that differently, right? So you have to do a different mechanism to like get those, whatever they are. Khorne has a blood tithe. The Nurgle, which I play, has man, how am I drawing a blank on what this Nurgle? Not pestilent points. Dude. I mean, here, I'm forgetting. So I'll grab my book. Here's my Nurgle book. Contagion points. That's what it is. Let's see here. And then every unit or every army has like other really specific things that they do, right? Contagion points, yeah. So like I also have to have this wheel, this whole wheel memorized for Nurgle. Each one of these things does something different on a different turn. Okay, so there's a bit of rapport with fellow players as well. If someone gets a petty playoff, others would be less likely to enjoy playing with him. Yeah, yeah, and actually, what's really nice about like tournaments is I actually have never played a tabletop RPG either. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, and this is it's tabletop wargaming, right? So an RPG is definitely more of like like a D&D or like I think a RuneScape or something like that, a Planescape, where you're more in control of either like a character or one or two characters possibly, maybe up to four. This is right. I have units of like 30 guys. Sure, I do have like my characters and stuff like that, but I have full units of 10, 20, 30 individuals. Some of them are smaller, fives and threes and things like that. But and elites and cavalry usually come in like threes and fives and stuff like that. But you like I'm responsible for everything in a book like this, and again, the whole book isn't just like rules. I mean, there's like this is all history here, like that's lore. The whole front part of this book is lore. Tells me about all like the war bands and stuff, so I can align myself if I want to. It's not even some of this stuff doesn't even affect the gameplay at all. It's it literally is just lore. Um, so there's that, and then they have stuff like this, which is like the Visions of Decay, which is just takes you through the book. It's just like pictures of the Nurgle army, like what it can look like, all that kind of stuff. So, oh, is the sound alert broken? Oh, fuck. Is it, man? Ugh. Let me make a note. Maybe it is. Thank you, War Boss. I will get you. I will make sure you get your sound next time you're on. And also, how are you? I haven't seen you in a hot second. I'm making this note really quick. Because I also did the switch from, I've switched a couple times between Stream Elements and Stream Labs. I'm back on Stream Labs, and I think I had my sound alerts on Stream Elements. I am very sorry, Tuska. Okay, note made. I will get that fixed. How are you, though, Tuska? I know you're, like, balls deep in a move. I'm good. Been moving. Yeah, I know. Took a lunch break. Before lunch, back to building. Yeah, all the IKEA. 4 hours of the IKEA adventure. I was following you there on the gram. Kind of giving a little rundown to Follicle as to a little bit of how the game's played there. Let's see what's going on in the stream here. There we go. But yeah, as you can see, I'm basically up and running, ready to do some painting. I have 2 boxes of Silver Tower. Well, one of Silver Tower and then one of the Shadows over Hammerall coming. So I'll also have some more Acolytes and stuff. Thank you. I think I'm gonna go try and hit a tournament in maybe November, maybe the one in Austin. I haven't like fully committed. Um, so it's not in the books, but the wife is the wife is supportive. She's actually the one that's been pushing me. She's like, dude, you need to go hit some tourney scenes up. You got a lot of homies oot and about in the country already. You need to like go do the thing so you can see them and play your little toy soldier game, which obviously love doing. Um, so that Austin may be super noob to 40k. Yeah, super noob. Um, he's a really great sculptor though, like modeler. Um, I was actually looking kind of to do some modeling for demons. Tuska, he's got some cool stuff. It's on my Discord. I kind of like made a little other art channel to be able to have him post some stuff up. So maybe check that out. But Demon Stonks on the rise in Tuska. I mean, you could go 40k. Obviously, 40k is your jam, but you could also, with the demons you just finished up, you could also get into AOS. That's one of the things I really love. That's why I really got into demons. I really love the demons for the fact that they are cross. You get a little cross play there without too much. You don't have to model them any differently, right? That's is what it is. And the stonks on plague bearers have really gone up in AOS. Before they were, you used them as summoned speed bumps only. Now they have real live legs. Now you can actually lean into a demon army. Before it was, if you were looking to win tournaments with Nurgle, you were playing mortals. Now demons are very viable. Oh yeah, no doubt. God, I cannot wait for the Rona. Yes, so I can be both. Yeah, Nova. Yeah, man. Oh, and then we got Delta and everything like that happening to us as well. My mother-in-law recently came down with the Rona, and she is one of those people that's been so insanely careful. She's actually she works in the medical industry. She's the president of a children's hospital. I won't say which one, but and so obviously she's been like very, very careful, and yet somehow she still came down with it. Being, like I said, still being very careful. So, and then my sister-in-law is, a little compromised. So it's been a little bit of a tough journey over in the household over there. But these guys, these little chunky boys are coming along. Yeah, yeah. She's good though, man. She's doing it. She did quarantine and everything like that. Man, I love it's really hard to see. I wonder if I can get a little bit better zoom on this. I'm really digging the horn color. This like great green blue gradient that I got going on up there. They're just fun, man. I'm really digging how these guys are turning out, and I really started messing too with sort of like legs and heads being different colors than the body. These were the first PBs that I cranked out, like the browns, kind of skin tone. You can see because even the base is a little done. I actually really love the way I'm doing these like multicolor crazy bases. All the like slime and just like pox coming out of the ground. But you know, and then I started doing, so this guy is almost that same like brownie color, but then his limbs are a little pinker and stuff. Trying to make some transitions and then kind of trying to group. So those are some of those things too to like, you know, you can use part of your modeling as player aids, honestly, as well. So I have one unit that you saw, that sort of the last guy, that's like very bright pink. And I think that's the unit that I'll probably use the most for like summoning, right? So I'll have the other unit as like a unit of 20 basically, 2 units of 10, and then that one unit will really be designated as the summoner. So you know, it won't even be on the battlefield, but that'll be nice to be able to like, right? Let's say I end up charging a unit with all my plague bearers, right? If they all looked identical, how would I know where a buff ended or began if I like cast, I don't know, like Blades of Putrefaction on a unit, right? Like if I have a buff that in 40k, let's say it's a psychic buff, I'm using a psychic power to buff. Like, how do you know? Hope you're getting a call. Catch ya later, amigo. I don't think forgotten our friendly little. Oh no, I know. Go take your call. I know we're on for. I'm ready, man. I'm ready for the paint challenge. It's gonna be great. Do what you need to do. Thanks for popping in, man. Much love. I'll catch you around, Tuska. All right. We can get back to a little more kind of game talk too, if you want. You can ask some more questions. And we can sort of go over some other concepts if you need to. Because again, it is not a. It's kind of a full-time hobby in the sense of I find it hard to have other things going simultaneously while I'm into Warhammer. Like, yes, I am going to be in a D&D campaign coming up, but like I would have no hope, no prayer of being able to run one as a DM because of the amount of time that I spend, you know, and again, there's very casual play and involvement in the hobby, but still, even that is, I say there's a decent level of buy-in because you are buying miniatures, you're painting miniatures, you're like involved on that level. It's not super cash. These guys are cool. These guys are flipping cool. I always got to make sure I'm not missing some spots because I'm always missing spots. This guy, like, did I not even get this guy? Dude, this is like the 4th time this guy, like, oh, I guess I did sort of hit him with the orange, but freaking not fully. What the heck? Dude, I cannot. This guy also has like a broken sword. He's so derpy. What a derp. What a derpy boy. This guy needs his... I may be frowned upon for this, but I don't think I'm interested in actually playing Warhammer. Oh, no, no, no. I'm interested in sculpting for it. Totally, man. No, so actually, there's... No, it's not frowned on at all. A huge part of the community, actually, right, are really just involved in what we call the hobby side. So, like, again, sculpting, painting, they don't really play. Just as there are a ton of people who don't want to paint their models. They're not even really worried about what they look like at all. They're like, okay, I need this thing to represent this. I'm just trying to play the game. That's it. That's all they're trying to do is play the fucking game. And I've been kind of in both schools of camp in my life. I'm definitely really enjoying my hobby, like my painting and assembling and converting and everything. These days, I really used to love converting, but I didn't really like painting. I was always trying to play a game. Always trying to, like, oh man, I just gotta, like, assemble this model so I can go fucking play a game. I'm not even worried about, like, I mean, I wasn't back in the day worried about any kind of paint. Like, I'll play it gray. I'll play gray plastic, man. Now I am way more in tune with how I want to play, and that involves painted miniatures. Okay, so what do we have? I'm interested in sculpting. Maybe that's the guy you get each time as you end the stream, so you're saying to yourself, oh, I'll finish that next time, and then you don't remember it. Yeah, right, exactly. So he's got like the end of 3 or 4 streams. Yeah, dude, and half finished. Yeah, that must be just his name is like End Stream. We'll just name him that. This little dude is End Stream. Little old End Stream. And not every Plague Bearer or one of my models gets a name. My characters and stuff like that do. I am nerd like that as well. I do. I think being involved in your hobby at that kind of a level is just adds more depth, makes things a little more personal. Although I have also noticed sometimes I get my feelings hurt a little bit more when I do that. You know, when your wife takes off one of your favorite characters or something and you're like, but plop rot, no. So maybe I'm bonding a little too hard to some of my plastic, but I think you're right with little old Endstream there. I think Endstream was getting just passed over every time. Because the dude's literally got, like, some things colored on it. But, like, not that many. Not enough. Let's see. I think I tried to get this. I think this guy got like half overlooked as well somehow. Because those have definitely been hit, but some of these have definitely not been. It's a little wild. Sounds more like a title. Yeah. Stream Ender. Yeah. Like, Garglegulb. Garglegulb the Stream Ender. And I picked that name because that's very Nurgle. It's very, very Nurgle demon. Garborgarg the Streamender. That's great too. So these already got yellowed, but that's before I'd sort of come up with how I do some of this scheming. So I'm actually coming through and giving this guy a little bit more of a little extra orange up here. Because it really does, it like swells it out nicely. Just adds that little extra area around it that helps it make it look inflamed. And you know, if it's not gross and inflamed, what are we doing? That's what Nurgle's all about. Flaming it. Getting it gross. BRB, alright. Wow. Decent fly guy. Decent little fly guy. Yeah, I can't believe this guy still is just not has not gotten hooked up with the goops the way that he should. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody make wish. Hmm? Back. Sorry about that. You don't have to apologize. Yeah, dude, you don't have to apologize at all. You could be like, see ya. Fuck you, dude. I'd be like, well, thanks for hanging out. Just happy to be able to help a little bit with somebody who's interested in something that I love. I love a lot about this hobby. I like that I can do something like paint, you know, like arts and craftsy, and then also satisfy something else that I really love, which is strategy. Um, you know, I'll play StarCraft. I'll play different RTS games. Just like I love strat. Like I said, I get to also paint some dudes and make them look all goofy. Typically enjoy strategy games. Are you like an FSPer? You like the FSP? Like the COD? Because I'll play an FSP every now and then, but again, I just feel like they're all so similar. And right, that's because the mechanic is the same. It's like gun does bang. Okay. Cool. It is what it is. Nah. Well, do you play games at all then, or are you doing other stuff? You arting. You're over there crushing your art game. And I love a strategy game when I'm in charge of the strategy. Not where, like, right? Like, a lot of people be like, oh, so you love chess. And I'm like, no, chess is a solved game. Chess is solved. Like, sure, there's, like, a ton of moves, but, like, it's a closed system. This shit is solved. Like, you will beat somebody in so many moves if you do this and they do that. Like, to me, that's not strategy. You're playing memorization. You're playing the game memory at a very adult level. That is all. Nobody's coming up with like new strategies for chess. That like doesn't happen. I like Magic the Gathering. Oh, driving games, nice. Oh, it's really a. Oh, wait. I'm into RPGs recently. Rocket League. Yeah, I played a ton of Rocket League back in the day. Me and my son joined. We got into a tournament and got our nuts kicked in. It was great, but it was good fun. I feel like it should have a category of its own. I mean, it's a sports game. Oh yeah, I know Rocket League. I know Rocket League very well. I played a lot of Rocket League before they even sold to like EA or whatever platform they're on now. I was playing Rocket League when it had just dropped. Let's see. It's not. Yeah, dude. Whatever. I do like RPGs though. I've been playing. I have been playing the new Dungeons and Dragons game on Xbox, and thoroughly enjoying it. Does get me a little ragey sometimes because it's like the jump from like easy to like hard is like not even hard. Like there's like 6 different difficulties for like a single level, and it's like the difference between the easiest mode and the next one up is like a solid chunk. I can only imagine what like 3 and 4 tiers above that are. But yeah, Rocket League's a great game. Yeah, not quite flying. I love that because if you don't know how to fly, like effectively, like if you have no air game, then like it's over, dog. It's over, mate. And that's sort of what got me and my son is like, dude, we got some air plays, but these dudes were just, you gotta be flying all over the place. You gotta be like mega pilot boy extraordinaire. Um, so, is what it is. What system are you playing on? Because you can find Snitbag on Xbox. I am Snitbag. Snitbag is Snitbag wherever you find. Wherever Snitbags are sold, you will find this Snitbag. There is only one. There is one and only Snitbag. And it is I. And I is he. But I don't like Breath of the Wind, so maybe I'm a casual gamer. I'm mostly on PC. I think my Xbox memberships have lapsed. I have a Switch, yep, but mostly for the white. Totally. Switch is what's up. My son's got a Switch as well. Um, I haven't even messed with Breath of the Wild. I don't even know. I might have to just go Google that right now. I'm like usually pretty. Oh, Zelda. Yeah, I don't consider Zelda an RPG. Zelda's an action game. That's not an RPG. You don't get to pick bullshit. That's an action adventure. Yeah, and I've actually played. That's funny that you said. I actually have played a decent amount of that. I helped a buddy beat a whole bunch of dungeons. Because I guess once you play one Zelda, you can play all the Zeldas. Um, yeah, I don't. I know that like uh, Nintendo says that it's an RPG, but I don't understand how it's an RPG. Like you're always Link. Like you are Link. So I don't get to make choices. Like the story is pretty much linear. Like sure, maybe I can choose to do this dungeon before I do that dungeon, or I can choose a side quest or whatever, but it's not like I can beat the game in 10 different ways. Like I don't get a different build for Zelda. And sure, you can get different armor. I know that. Like armor, weapons, all of that shit. But like it's all in a very specific bandwidth. An old man who's salty you stole his axe. Yeah, dude. Like I don't consider Zelda an RPG. Now don't get me wrong, I actually do love like helping my buddy play um a whole bunch of that stuff and like beat some dungeons cuz like he was kind of new to the Zelda scenario. Um was fun. But I really like games more of like anything in like the Morrowind or something like that. Yeah, there it is. Morrowind. Yep. Um yeah, cool. Great. Oh, also, hey Freed, what's up, my guy? Yeah, Zelda's 100% action game. It's not an RPG. You're like not. You don't get to distribute stats the way you want. Like, there's like some small things where it's like, oh, take one more health, but like at the end of the game, you'll unless you missed things like. There's again, it's a solved system. It's a like your character evolves on like a single trajectory. It's not like you can be Wizard Link or Rogue Link or Warrior Link. Like Link is Link, and he's a mix between a little bit of all of them, right? Like Link is Link. Link be Link. I know he has stats. He totally does have stats, but like that's what I'm saying is like your stat changes. Do you want to be a little bit better with a bow or a little bit better with a sword? You're not going to be terrible with either. Like you're not going to like class yourself out of like using a weapon, right? Or like, hey, you can increase your armor, and also I know you're just trolling me, so fuck you. But right, like it's not this like huge shift in like either how the game is played or like how Link is. Ow, bitch, that hurt, dude. All these little swords on my desk every single time I move my hand. So. Hookers for healing. Let's go. Just like GTA. The healing power of a hooker. Hilarious. Hilarious. The healing power of the hookah. When you grow up, you have to get healed like an adult. You have to use a hookah. Wait, GTA hooker could... Well, so, no. That's not true. You are correct. You are right. I am wrong. It didn't, like, heal you. It just had hookers, I guess, was really what I was going for. Is it had hookers, and now apparently Zelda does too. How does Zelda have a hooker? That's like seems anti. I keep wanting to say Disney, potato, potato, but I meant. Who the fuck is that? Nintendo. Golden Nintenders. Fucking Nintenders. I love a lot of good Nintendo games, man. Don't get like Mario Kart is a banger. Get on that Mario Kart. Get on them Mario Karts. I'm so bad. When GTA got first person, the first thing I did was hop online and hire a hooker in first person. Fable 2 had hookers where you could catch an STD. Yeah, Fable 2 did catch an STD. Yep, totally. The anti-healer hooker. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. Sorry, some of these guys are dusty. Some of them are dusty. Dusty old balls. Some of them I'd already sort of done the yellow, and it's funny because I gotta go back after I put the gloop on it. Cthulhu. Hear that? It's not really a Cthulhu. I'm calling it one just. Oh, because it's got tentacles. Yeah, I get that too. It's a catch-all. I think we use a lot of those, especially in this like particular gaming space, right? Like goblins, one of them. You know, any type of like undead thing, either like a zombie or like we catch all. We use those as like catch-all phrases as well. I get just you know, it's not really Cthulhu. It's just it's got tenties probably on its face. And there's a couple of Gene Stealer cult sort of like Cthulhu inspirations that I really enjoy as well. Sometimes I forget to breathe when I'm painting. It's not great. It's not great. Can post progress pics. Yeah. That's what that's for, man. You don't have to ask permission at all. You're part of the Discord now. Just you know, again, channels are made for appropriate content, and go ahead and throw it up there. That's what it's there for. I'm about it. I'm about it to do it. Do it now. There's that guy. Yeah, some of these older ones, right? They really need, they haven't gotten the full orange bomb treatment. For me to come back and give it the little yellow tip that they really need. This guy's cool though. This guy's got a great face. Rare. Cool. Cool. Yeah, so many. So. And there should be. Interesting. I should have one more. Ugh, getting caught on stuff. I should have another Banner Boy. Where are all of you? Ha. Whale. I'm gonna have to go look for these other PBs. These other golden goddamn PBs. KK. Let me go see. Alright. Lick my brush. Yeah. Gotta bring this up. Oh, I think the fan went for a walk. That's great. Let's throw the books back up here. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know why it's asking me to do that shit. Let me... Asking me to sign into my own fucking page? Alright, how do I do this? Nope. Boy. Vey. Rescan. Okay, there we go. Wow, that was wild that I had to do that. Dude, I just literally fucking did this. It's like not letting me sign into my own fucking Discord. Dude, this is fucking insane. I'm so confused. Dude, what the literal fuck? Alright, why can't I... Why... Oh my god. Dude, this is so bizarre. My Discord is like not... I don't think it's even responding on my computer anymore, is the whole problem. What the fuck? This is so insane. This is so insane. Freed, are you the one that's saying restart? Oh, I tried. I just restarted Discord like 6 times on my fucking computer. I mean, I got to it on the internet, but I don't want to use the fucking browser. That's why I have a fucking app. Like, that's why I'm not trying to use a fucking browser. But it won't even let me left click the fucking app. Or right click it, I mean. Wow, yeah, it's fucking tanked, dude. Great, so I'm just deleting Discord off my computer for a second. Apparently I'll just need to reload the whole fucking thing. Anyway, the Cthulhu thing looks amazing, dude. I really love, like, how its face is, like, being, like, pulled back tentacle style. Fuck you, Discord. Go choke on 1,000 dicks. Dude, I don't know why that... What the fuck? That is bizarre. That is truly bizarre. Truly, truly, truly. Always just use Discord tab. I think tabs work better than their... Yeah, using it through a browser. Totally. I just don't understand, like... I brought it up earlier today on the computer, and that's how I was looking at a whole bunch of phallical stuff. And then I finally started leaving Discord servers. I mean, way too many. Yeah, dude. Discord can be a problem where it's just like, yeah, I'll join. I mean, I was actually hesitant to even start my own. I didn't for a long time because I was like, man, I don't want to be just another motherfucker that's got fucking Discord. Do you know what I mean? Like, every single streamer's like, come join my Discord. And Warboss Tuska and Mike Moans and those guys are really... Like, they have the cult of creativity, and it has its own Discord and everything like that, and that's super cool. And I actually really love that there's, like, multiple streamers sharing a Discord. And I believe in that. You know, maybe if I had an invite, I would have just gone there and starting my own too, but... Whatever, here we go. Dude, there's just so many. And I didn't want to be that guy that's like, yeah, my Discord server. What are you gonna do, eh? What are you gonna fucking do? Yeah, I don't join a bit. Me either. I'm not in a billion either. I can tell you how many I'm in right now, actually. And it's not even that many, right? Compared to, like, what I know so many people are in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and, like, there's, like, 4 of them that aren't even active, really. I just use them to, like, jump in to play video games or something like that, right? So, like, I know I'm in, like, of the minority of how many I'm in. It's, like, very, very low. But I'm trying to keep it that way. Half a dozen servers? Yeah, dude, I get that. I have my main one, and after that, I will quit them. Yeah. Yeah, jump in, do a thing, then peace out. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I get that. Yeah, I mean, I actually have... I'm in Newegg's, right? Like, I'm in Newegg's Discord just because I've had some questions with, like, computer stuff, too. Specifically from, like, a team and purchase and stuff like that. You know, so, like, there's even something like that. Yeah, for D&D. Oh, also, Freed, I don't know if you heard, I'm going to be starting... I'm not starting. I'm going to be in a D&D campaign coming up. It actually starts this weekend, but I will be out of town, so me and a buddy are kind of doing it remote. That's who I'm going out of town with. I think one of the things that's really cool about it, too, is the way that it's being set up is to, like, really be able to... Come on, bud! Come on! Come on! Look who it is! It's a fuzzy guy! Ooh-cha-cha! Alright, go ahead, you can leave. Well, so tips, interesting. So, like, I mean, I've D&D'd. Makes me feel elite when I go ask questions in these servers, and No one knows the thing I'm using or how to fix it. Yo, I totally get that. Granted, I was using esoteric portion of Blender, but still, yeah, totally. As to what to play, again, I'm not trying to murder Hobo Dude. I'm also not trying to like power scale or anything like that. I sort of get the game already. I'm probably gonna be. I put a couple characters together because like we haven't started right. Like the pickies haven't happened, and we're using Beyond D&D right online to like make characters, and we're starting at like level 3. So far, the character that I've made, I never made max. Yeah, I have builds I refuse to touch because they're so. Yeah, sure, right? Like Rogue Rapier and bullshit like that. No, I think I'm doing viable. Totally. Right? Yeah, no, and I get that. I get that. No, I'm gonna do a mountain dwarf, barbarian, berserker, not totem based. You know, folk hero past is like a haunted past. Definitely building after like a Warhammer. Yeah, why you say oh god berserker? I mean, they're way more defense now from everything. Now, when you say the absolute worst, why? They're way more defense based. They used to be way more attack based. What does worst mean to you? Okay, let me just a sec. I need to rectify this. I got to get you on here if you are available. One second. Let me get Discord back up. Oh fuck, now I got to get my keyboard. This is just one of those days. Oh, just being a bastard. Oh my god, I know I gotta do this shit. Well, I like told you, I shut that thing down, man. I was just like, fuck you, Disquad. Fuck you, Disquad. Wow. Yeah, so that's not happening. Something is definitely going on with my computer right now. I did go to the website, but I can't. The way that the sound works on my computer, like, if you're in that Discord, I'm not going to be able to pipe your. I'm not going to be able to pipe you in. I mean, not without some challenging, not without some trial and error. I mean, it's just not. And now what? My keyboard doesn't even work anymore? Dude, what is... That Discord, like, fucked my computer up. Fuck you, Discord app. No, let's just open in browser. Oh my god. Yeah, URL code. Jesus. This is, like, annoying, man. I didn't realize Discord... Dude, I might just make everybody go to Slack, dude. Shit, that'd be easier than this bullshit. Alright. Yes, got it. Of course I got it. It's literally my own bullshit. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. It won't let me into the fucking echo chamber. It's like not even letting me navigate my own fucking... Why is this so fucking shitty? Yeah, I can't get into the echo chamber when I'm running it off a tab. Here, I'll show you. I'll fucking bring it up over here. Turning it on and off again. Yeah, seriously. I tried streaming yesterday, Discord. ABS apparently want to use separate microphones. Yeah, so you can, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I use the app, is because I can you can use a virtual cable to have it become the input, but like I don't think I can fucking do that when it's running as the fucking app. And right now, it's not even letting me fucking. Oh my god, dude. Let me see what else I got here. Okay, I'm gonna pause this. Pause the music for a second. I mean, it doesn't even matter because it won't, for whatever reason, it won't even let me go into the fucking echo chamber. My own fucking shit. It says I'm like a, not even, no, it says I fucking own this. Then why the fuck won't you let me go anywhere? Dude, this is insane. I can create a new voice channel, but I can't get into echo chamber. What the literal dog fuck? Dude, this is driving me fucking insane. Hello? Hello? Okay, I can hear you. Say something. Oh, fuck. Alright, let me try and change the export audio output. Jesus, just give me the VB cable. Alright, there's VB cable. Alright, this should be better. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, great. I got you on. Okay. You are definitely on air now. Am I too loud or are you good? Am I good?
No, everything's fine for me.
Okay, so you are piped. You are now on the fat middle, Freed. How does it feel?
Okay, first off, let me my trick. I always end up putting the stream at the lowest possible volume without muting, because if I mute, it doesn't count me as a viewer anymore.
Totally.
Okay, so worst barbarian.
Poor
Reason
kid.
why it is worst is because it uses exhaustion.
Yes.
And you get exhaustion. If you get a lot of battles throughout a day, and I'm not talking like an overabundance. I'm not talking your DM is being cruel. I'm talking just a typical adventuring day. You just end up being so exhausted. Your character is you're basically crippling yourself.
Okay.
It's like I'm not talking like mid-max. Oh, don't take this because it's the weakest. I'm talking literally exhaustion will kill you.
Cool.
Because like the first level you get disadvantage on ability checks, then your speed is halved, which is a barbarian is already nerfing you. Then you get disadvantage on your attack rolls and your saving throws.
Right.
Then if you get, and that's a typical amount of exhaustion, and you're not going to clear all of them in a single sleep. So these things are going to keep building up, and if eventually you hit level 6, it's just instant death.
Huh.
So you end up being this barbarian that does the one thing that barbarians should never do, and that is you're sitting around going, well, I don't really know if I want to rage today.
Damn. That's so fucking stupid.
It kind of it is. It's the community recognizes it as the one subclass that we're all like, can you please fix this? Because like,
Dude, that doesn't make...
it,
Go ahead.
it came out in the it's a player's handbook class, so a lot of the PHB classes, the subclasses, they were worried about the game was brand new. They didn't want to make things overly powerful, and they were experimenting with weaknesses, and this was the test of how it'd be if you put exhaustion on a class, and it turned out it was the worst possible thing ever. But because totem warriors are so stupidly good,
They're so good.
most people just ignore berserker. Personally, I don't know how many of the books you have access to. Some of my favorites are like just for flavor and role playing. I'm not even gonna go into like what's the most powerful, because clearly if you don't want to die, the totem is the way to go. I'm a big
I'm
fan
trying
of
not
Path
to
of
die.
the Beast,
Okay.
because they get to do things like you can have a tail that has
Have a good
reach.
night, Falikal. Sorry you're not feeling good. Go ahead, Tail.
You get a tail that gives you reach, but also when you get attacked, you can roll a die, and with that tail, you add whatever the result is to your AC, possibly just completely negating an attack you would have taken, or you get to, because there's three options: there's a tail, there's claws, or there's teeth. And the teeth gives you a bite that will heal you, not a ton, but it's interesting. The tail is the most popular one in the community, but personally, I'm a big fan of the claws.
I love
You
claws.
just literally get to grow your own Wolverine
Well,
claws.
I was gonna say it's Wolverine.
And for every attack, yeah, and for every attack, so you know if you take like a great sword or the maul, you do 2d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the claws, they only do 1d6, but for every attack you declare, you can attack twice with the claws, so you get to do 2 separate d6 attacks.
Totally.
And then and I swear I'm not min-maxing, this is just one of those, this is like when I'm talking about the 3, this is why this is one of my favorite, is if you eventually you end up with like, okay, you're going to do a d6 damage plus whatever number. Well, when you're doing these individual d6 damages, instead of you doing 2d6 plus your bonus, you're going to do 2 individual d6s plus the bonus. So even though there's a chance you're going to miss more because you have to roll each of these d6s individually, over time you should be doing more damage,
yeah,
but it's balanced out by what I said, because you got to roll each of them individually. So sometimes you might just roll badly, and see what I like to do is I don't just min-max. I don't just go, okay, this be strongest build, I use this. I'm like, okay, I don't just want to walk in and be the most devastating thing on the battlefield. I like to go.
Go ahead.
I look at classes and I go, is the role play behind what this character is going to be doing fun to me?
Right.
And
yeah, exactly.
You're playing a dwarf with Wolverine claws. The role play kind of does its own thing of exactly what, like if you're not calling everybody bub, you're doing it wrong.
Listen here, bub. Yeah. So the kind of, but the character I'm kind of going for, right, is because like this is initially like, and I'm kind of okay with maybe fucking with the berserker side of things, but also being barbarian, like I leaned into nature. You get tools as a dwarf. I'm taking the brewer kit. I wasn't gonna take a great axe. I was literally gonna take a warhammer because like I want to fuck with a warhammer. But then I was gonna take a sickle and hopefully be able to use the sickle to actually do. So I was actually gonna lean into like the brewing side of things, also.
So you're gonna be Captain Soviet Brewer Man?
Yeah, exact hammer sickle brewer boy.
Well, there is other options beside like because I'm just saying don't be Berserker, but I have
Totally.
access to all. I have all the books, right?
Yeah. Um,
There is a dwarf only. Um, there is a dwarf only
class. I
thing
mean,
for
subclass.
barbarians.
What is it?
So it's called the Battle Rager. Um, literally known as it's called Kuljarg. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, which literally
Ah,
translates to axe idiot in Dwarvish.
yes,
Um,
yes. I did some
they
research on the class. Yeah, just a little
yeah
though.
they wear bulky, spiky armor, and they just throw themselves into combat, and like they're just little spiky, twirly, whirly, insane dudes.
Now, how do you feel about like a dwarf monk brewer?
So if you want to do the brewer, um, I literally did a class all about being a beer brewer. Um, and what I did was I actually did a cleric because there's cleric of the forge,
Okay.
and their whole thing is they they get to make weapons because forge clerics are very frontline clerics. They're not the backline caster clerics. These guys sit on the front line, but they can make anything. Like if someone in your party needs new armor, you literally can do it as a holy ritual. You
Sick.
can collect all the shitty weapons from every enemy you run into, throw them into a pile, and then use your cleric abilities to create a full plate for someone. Now, the reason I did that one was I also went with the guild artisan background, and because guild artisan background in it you can pick something that you're a master of. So I leaned into the whole. 'Cause in real life, there's literally clerics whose whole thing is they brew beer.
Totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Monks.
And so I did him as that cleric. So he was like, and in the guild artisan, what's cool is one of the background options is you can actually already be world famous. Like the thing you make can already be known around the world. So I created him. His name was Bronwyn Ironbeard.
Cool.
So we called it Ironbeard's Brew, and
Nice.
like every campaign we've done since that character's creation, every tavern we go into,
You can
no
drink that
matter
beer.
what world we're in, Ironbeard's Brew has been our running gag, and it's always available.
Nice.
And just because, like, I leaned into the whole dwarf of the forge, but like his true passion is creating beer, not creating weapons and things. But he follows a god of creation, so like that's why he's making weapons and armor and stuff. And it was a lot of fun. Monks are really cool. They are they are currently the bottom tier of classes.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're bad. And if you want to do a monk that's all about brewing beer, there is literally a drunken master subclass for monk.
Yeah, which is kind of what I wanted to lean. I wanted to find something because that's what I sort of wanted to do, even with sort of the berserker was like, I'm gonna drink beer and go fucking get crunk on a motherfucker, and then just drink beer and
Well,
pass out and rest up. But if fatigue is so bad, if like
fatigue is exhaustion is
yeah,
just
exhaustion.
horrifically,
Ugh.
mind-numbingly character breaking. Like it's very you gonna die, especially like the higher levels you manage to attain other characters you're getting more and more powerful, you're enjoying that, you're unlocking more and more skills. Path of the Berserker is getting more and more gimped because it's like,
Dude.
yeah, I can rage this many more times a day, and it's like, hey, I can get myself near death this many times. Oh
Yeah, I
shit.
get you. I get you. That fucking sucks.
That and the bonuses you get for putting yourself on the line that much are like you're not getting enough out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Drunken Master is actually one of the best monks. Um, very, very front line, very, very tanky.
cool. That fucks with that.
Yeah, lots of survivability, lots of fun role play. It specifically says in it, it's like, look, you don't have to put alcohol as a part of your thing. Like, it's real drunken masters. It's about
The
the martial
style,
art is about looking like you're drunk,
totally. It's the
not
like
actually
super
being
loosey
drunk.
goosey style. I
But
get that.
yeah, you're role playing it, so why not? Like,
Yeah, and I'm trying to be a
especially if
brewer.
you're a dwarf,
Exactly. The dude's
yeah,
gonna be
a beer brewing
smashed.
drunken dwarf being a yeah, like this is the role play for that writes itself, and
Yeah.
it's actually it's a fantastic subclass. It really is.
Cool. Yeah. Then I'll lean into that direction. It doesn't, I'm not looking for like the best, but like obviously I don't want a broken class in the sense of like shit
Oh yeah.
broken. I don't want it to like not
Eh,
fucking work. By the time you hit like level, like you said, like level 5 or 6, you're like, cool. I can fight in one battle a day, and I
Most
can't even max out my abilities because I might kill myself.
yeah, most of the broken stuff is really fancy pants multi-classing,
Yeah, of
where you
course.
pick the very specific stuff, but there is one base out of a book subclass that is game breakingly broken that is known amongst DMs that like if you allow this you better throw a lot of stuff at them because you just overpowered the party, and it's one kind of cleric. It's called the peace cleric,
Okay.
and it's basically what it does is it's not overpowered in and of itself. What it is it gives so many bonuses across the entire party that a collectively you are just raising them
Got
to
you.
whole new tiers of overpoweredness.
Got you.
Uh, just one of them can completely turn a campaign on its head. I actually showed it to my DM the other day, and he was like, "Wait, I've never really read that one. What do you mean it's game breakingly overpowered?" I was like, "Read it," and we discussed it. He was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know how they ever reached release with that, but I think it's because of the fact that it does." This single character isn't overpowered. It just helps the party so much that I think not enough players were complete. Because most people would be like, "Oh, well, yeah, as long as the individual player's not overpowered, we're fine." And
Totally.
it's like, yeah, well, it
I
wasn't the
get that. Whereas,
individual. It was
whereas it
it
doesn't
broke
allow you
everybody.
to, yeah, it doesn't allow you to like solo murder hobo, um, like god level status, so it probably did
Yeah.
slip through the cracks that way. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. So I'll gonna ask my DM. We'll go. I'll look for the monk drunken master dwarf, um, and he fights. It's bare hand, right? I know it's the same. It's the same armor
Um.
scaling as like the barbarian, right? Where isn't it? Isn't it
No, they
off
have
of
weapons.
totally? But don't you get
There's
bonus?
there
Don't you get bonus to like open hand?
So there is monk weapons specifically for monks to be using. You can go barehanded, but there's actually like that. Most people think of the monk that way, but think of just like Shaolin monks in real life. They have
Okay, so like
their
staff
own like
and
yeah.
okay. I mean, not that that's the only
Um,
weapon, but
no, spears are typically not brokenly good or anything, but typically your best bet, which I always makes me happy because I love the idea of spears.
yeah, yeah, I fucks with a spear. Is there any good like two-handed combo? Because I'm also sort of a sucker for that for dwarves, just like in general. Like,
Oh, what, a weapon in each hand?
yeah,
Um, I honestly don't know a ton about monk weapons. I would assume there is.
yeah, I can hit
I think
the
there's some
Google
weapons
machine.
that just. Well, I have all of the books on. So yeah, there's short swords, clubs, daggers, hand axes, javelins, light hammers, maces, the quarterstaff, which is
Yeah, the bow staff. Yeah.
sickles, spear. Like so, yeah, all of that.
Was there hammer? Was there hammer? Can I wield hammers?
Oh wait, it's a homebrew page. I forget when I hit that.
Because I want hammers. I love hammers. I love me some hammers.
Well, not hammer, but there's
I heard club and mace. And you did say sickle, and I'm about the sickle as a brewer. Like, it just makes sense because you can use the sickle also. You know, if you're a monk, you can use the sickle to, like, get yourself that grain for brewing them beers. Now, is there any other sort of like,
open hand is the one where
go ahead.
open hand's the monk where it's all about the punchy.
Okay, of the open hand. Right, like your discipline is of the open hand.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think I'm about the drunken master. Um,
Well, yeah, Drunken Master is. It sounds exactly up the alley of the thing you're trying to do.
yeah, and so again, right, as the dwarf, I'll have access to the brewer's kit, right? I should be able to like start with a
Mhm.
brewer's kit. Um, is there anything else I should be thinking to take? Because I was also sort of leaning into with the barbarian. I was like, right, like I can lean into like the natural aptitude, nature, as one of the, you can do like what athletics and insight and perception and whatever. And I was like, nature seems like a good way to go, so I can like find things in nature to be able to like brew stuff with a
Oh yeah,
monk.
nature's a good one. Um,
Can,
Nature and survival, because survival's a
got
common
you.
rule when you're in the wild to find stuff like that as well.
Okay, yeah, I
Just,
figured.
um, I always take perception as one of your abilities. It is the most rolled stat you're ever gonna roll. It's the like every situation that DM saying roll me perception is one of the most common things you're gonna roll all the time.
Cool.
Um, so yeah, the spear is your best bet. There is the short sword. There's hand axes, javelin, dart. Yeah, these are the only weapons. More weapons for monks come in with other things. Although, like, you could literally just ask your DM. Most DMs are.
Yeah, right. As long as you're not trying to come up with some weird, like crazy open
Yeah,
thing.
because the whole thing is always the same thing. Is the rules are just a guideline in D&D.
Yeah,
They're not. These things are not written in stone.
yeah, can't be. Well, that sounds like the thing that I'm trying to do. So now I'll have to go bake up that character and message the DM. But
Also, when you are picking your race according to stats or bonuses or like proficiencies they start with, you don't have to anymore. One of the more recent books called Tasha's Cauldron of Everything put out these amazing rules that I absolutely love. Where like the dwarves, you can get a +2/+2, and it's just strength and con. Well, now because of Tasha's, instead of you taking that, it's always strength and con. You can literally put them into whatever you want.
ah,
And so, like, if you start with proficiency with like a great axe, for example, nowadays you can exchange that proficiency for something. They have charts of like what's equal to a great axe, so it'd
got
be like,
you.
well, that's a martial weapon, so you can switch it to
Yeah, yeah, I saw
proficiency
that.
with another
I,
martial weapon. So if uh, if something starts with proficiency with a tool, or they start with that toolkit, you can now exchange that toolkit for another toolkit.
got you.
So that's fantastic. Although Drunken Master Dwarf is just, I'm sorry, that's how you do it.
Yeah, no, and that's what I want to do. I want to do Drunken Master Dwarf. I was gonna do like the folk hero or whatever, um, so that I would also do. I was gonna do carpentry as well, right? Because you also get that second like artisan skill. So I was gonna do carpentry as well as the brewer kit's tools and the carpentry tools, so I could make my own casks. Um, that's
Like you
just
make your own casks, but also you could do fun stuff like making yourself your own quarterstaves and spears and.
totally, totally, yeah. I mean, initially my brain was like, got to do this thing. So yeah, maybe I'll do that and get proficiency in a quarterstaff, or again, spear is really good, right? Um, I just don't know how I
Well,
feel about
as
a
a monk,
dwarf
you
running
just
around with a spear.
those are monk weapons.
Right. Yeah, quarterstaff I'm about. Spear, I know they're good.
I don't know.
I'll have to think about how I feel about myself as a dwarf monk with a spear. Could I see myself being drunk with a spear? I mean, can I see a monk being that? Yes. Can I see myself
Well,
being that?
it's
I don't
first
know
off,
yet.
it's the stick you use to lean up on because otherwise you're gonna fall over more.
Oh, for sure.
And and it's got the pointy end. That's what the drunk guy says. It's like when someone goes, do you even know what you're doing with that thing?" And you're just like, "I put the pointy end into the other guy."
Yeah, yeah.
Also, I do picture dwarves with spears just because they're shorter, they're stockier. They need that
Extra length. Yeah, it's not
longer.
a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. That like does kind of balance out. He's got some length to be able to like poke some
Oh,
distance.
a really fun thing with spears is you can two-hand it, you can one-hand it,
Yep.
but also it's throwable.
Yeah, I know that too. I know you can also like
You're not gonna
yeet
like
him.
you're not gonna be doing it all the time.
No.
But every now and then, you're just gonna be like it'll be this enemy's running from you. What do you do? And you're gonna be like, I whip my spear at it.
Yeah, I throw my spear into his back. What do you think I'm gonna do? Now,
Which
would you
I, as
think?
a DM, would probably be like, if he's running from you and you suddenly throw that spear, I'm gonna give you advantage.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, right? They're like fleeing. You're still like tuned into combat. Um,
Yeah.
what? So perception, you're saying take that in nature. I think those are the only two. I only get two, right? With the
Well,
particular
typically you get
setup.
some you get from your race, some you get
Yeah,
from your background.
yeah.
So keep an eye on that. You might want to go guild artisan as your background, just because, as I said, it's all like as much as
Mm.
artisan doesn't sound like it'd be about brewing beer, it's all in there.
It can be. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It can be. Just like like Sage and some of those, like depending on what you're trying to do, like dude, Sage and Warlock, like yeah, absolutely. Like get a whole bunch of cool demonic languages. Like learn how to make packs, bro. Um so all right, that sounds like the build I'm going to do. I'm about that too. I've been just trying
I'm
to
playing a warlock right now. They're a lot of fun, but I'm finding that we had a big combat, and my party is we have a rogue that's using a bow, and then we had these two frontline tanks,
yeah.
and I'm our only caster, and then we got overwhelmed by this huge force, and the entire time I was like, man, it'd be really nice if I was a caster that had something like fireball right
Fireball.
about
Yeah,
now.
dude. That's such a classic just like pew pew like damage, do a little direct damage. I'm not trying to like sway you or conjure something or like make a pact really quick, you know? Like you can just be like, I'm gonna shoot you in the face with a
Oh,
fucking missile.
and the game developers themselves have admitted, Wizards has admitted that they know that they made Fireball a little overpowered, and they're like, but it was done on purpose because they're like, it's Fireball.
Yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
that penultimate spell. It's
Totally.
supposed to be.
You just get to throw a fireball. Like, yeah, of course it should be sick as fuck. Um I'm trying to. Yeah, I at one point I had. It was like last edition. I had a deep gnome warlock. That was. He was a lot of fun. I was thinking about maybe doing a reskin of that, but I was like, no, I think I really want to lean um, into this dwarf game right now. I was sort of looking at a
I've been
halfling
wanting to
too.
make a. Halflings are fun. I mean, it's your hobbits.
No, I know exactly. I was like, "Ooh, do I make a?" And the build that I had for the halfling was a halfling monk, um, who it was
And
artisan.
halfling
and did
Drunken
cooking.
brewing halfling with a spear all fits because halflings really have a spear because they itty bitty. They gotta.
They itty bitty. They also have. I mean, I guess you said you can change the stat. For me, I was like, they already have like a dex bonus, so like being able to like go perception and like athletics in a dex bonus with a spear on a monk seems like a pretty solid. Like you'll combo nicely. Plus, that'll help you. You know, that'll bonus your armor as well with the dex bonus as a monk. So.
Yeah.
I get that too, but I think I'm gonna do dwarf. Halfling could be cool. I do have a soft spot in my heart for halflings, but I want my dwarf to be right. Like the average rate of a dwarf is like somewhere around 150 pounds. I want my guy to be like 100 and like pushing 190. Like he's just round. Like he's 4'4" and just
Chungus.
perfectly spherical, like a big old chonky boy. Is what.
So it's like a mix of sumo wrestling and drunken.
Exactly. That's exactly what I want. Is like the sumo, and that's what I wanted with the when I was originally thinking the barbarian, like berserker. He was just like hammer in one hand, sickle in the other, and just like the sumo squat, just like down low on the ground with a giant like ale casket on his back, just ready to like get drunk and fuck shit up. Because the premise, right, we got some pieces of how the campaign is going to run, because I think there's 5 of us, and it's sort of disparate, right? Like we're supposed to be meeting in person at least once a month. He was trying for every 2 weeks, but it's probably going to be closer to that once a month scenario. But we'll be able to do solo play or like small party play, you know, 1 or 2 of us together, you know, at least once a week, maybe a couple times a week, depending on. And what it is we're all part of this, what did he call it? Let me bring it up. It's actually a genius idea for how he's setting up the campaign. Oh, where'd it go? Oh shit, no, there it is. Owl Shade. Oh, where did it go? We're part of basically like an adventurers guild. Oh yeah, Owl Shade Acquisitions, and so we'll basically be able to go to like a poster board and like, you know, pull down contracts. You know what I mean? Like either an escort or like, you know, a bounty or something like that, and like, you know, do like some of these smaller one-offs, either solo or in like a group of like 1 or 2 of us. And then that once a month, it's like, okay, the guild is like called to order. There's like this big fucking quest. We gotta go, like, you know what I mean? So we like kind of put that together really smoothly. I really like that, and I love being the idea of being able to like brew beer for the guild as well, just like Owl Shade Brewery.
That's the thing. It's that fun, and it's also an excuse to make some money, which
Yeah.
I was in a whole conversation one time when people were not liking the idea that my cleric was world famous, because they're like, well, if they're selling his beer all over the world, how are you not just the richest member of our group then at all times? Shouldn't you just have money rolling in? And I was like, I'm a cleric. The profits from the sales of my beer was back to my
Go to the
church.
monastery. Go back to the church, the
Yeah.
religion. Yeah, absolutely. You have sworn off. You have sworn the life of the poor. You are poor of money, rich in spirit.
Yeah, and I was like, my God, I can forge any items that I need, so I don't really need money.
Yeah, I actually love that. That's really sick. That's actually really cool. And I dig that as a cleric. And that same idea too is like a monk, right? Like I'm sworn to poverty. And I don't know if I'm gonna go the world famous route. I sort of like the idea of like building up my like brew cred. But I do kind of like the idea of showing up to a party with some like with a little more gestalt, right? With like a
So
little backstory that's got some right because like are
the
is
way I
everybody
did
who's
it.
joining a guild is everybody that like no, this is my first time doing it. Like, fuck that. No way. Some of the people joining the guild are like, oh yeah, I've been severing heads for fucking damn near
Yeah,
20
which
years.
the way I did it was I said I was world famous, but I was like, that's world famous for the first. That's the first major thing I did. So now I'm traveling the world because I want to learn. There's more herbs out there. There's more
Mm-hmm.
ingredients throughout the world for me to
Mm-hmm.
discover.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know in my heart of hearts, even though I I attained world fame, I know that I can make a better beer than that.
Cool.
And but everywhere I go and I try to learn about it, people are like, "But you've already made the best." It's like, no, that is not the best. I know I can do better.
Yes. That's so cool.
And so, like, I even made it like my own little hidden secret of when I made the best beer that I'd ever made. It was actually an oops. That wasn't the recipe I was going for, but
Oh,
I accidentally
classic.
screwed up.
I love that,
And it
dude.
just turned out that I oopsed my way into a world famous beer that everybody loved, and so I'm looking for redemption because I'm like, no, I need to travel the world and find things to make my own recipe to attain this fame. And also, I was a little ashamed, and my friends were like, "Why would you be ashamed? You made a world famous beer." I'm like, "Yes, but I made like the Budweiser of our world. I need to go out and make like the good beer."
Yeah, for sure. I love that though. That's so good. God damn it, I made the fucking
Like,
Budweiser.
yes, my beer's famous, but it's Budweiser. Come on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
ugh.
Dude, that's great.
Budweiser being everybody knows Budweiser, but amongst beer drinkers, uh, it's that like, ew, you drink that?
Yeah, exactly. Although, man, I fucks with I fucks with a bud every now and then. That's what's up. It's not like, I mean, I'm actually a huge Founders fan. I love everything coming out of Michigan. But man, I'll fucks with a Bud original, not a Bud Light. Fuck Bud Light. It's some like piss beer. Oh man.
Look, when I was in high school and for years, my friends and I everybody drank Molson Canadian, and now as an adult, I've tried it, and I'm just like, whoa, God, how did I drink this like in such swill?
Yeah, dude.
And people have been like, "Oh, here, try Bud Light," and I'm like, "Wow, I thought we were making fun of it when we said it was basically water, but like, this has like no flavor." I'm like, "Is this why it's famous?" It's because I've said it to people. I'm like the main reason beer. Like, I'm not saying there's not beer drinkers, but the main reason most people default to beer is literally toxic masculinity.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm like, I think that's why Bud Light is so popular, is because it's the least beer tasting beer in existence. It's such a light taste that if you don't like the taste of beer, you can easily tolerate that.
Yeah, you're just
But
drinking
beer
water.
drinkers, like actual legit beer drinkers, like actual beer. Like me, I don't like wine. It's funny, I'll drink beer. I'm a giant sissy when it comes to my alcohol. If I can taste the alcohol, I don't like it.
Yeah, you know me. I love gin all day. I'll just straight gin out the bottle, dog. Like I pour gin on ice and shake it, and that's a martini. Like shake and strain, baby.
Oh,
Pure straight. Just give me the rocket
yeah,
fuel.
no.
Which is actually I've thought
My
about
dad
doing
worked.
that with my monk is actually having him like distill instead of like brewing beer, have him like distill spirits. Like the dude gets wrecked on gin. And I almost was like, man, should I try and do like a should I do like a druid that just gets fucked on gin? Like
When I think druid, I don't think gin.
huh.
Like, what's funny? Oh my god. Oh my god. So you could do a. There is moon druids, and you could do a moon druid that gets fucked up on moonshine.
Oh, dude, the moonshine druid. Oh my god, that would be sick.
And moon druids are all about they're the shapeshifters, or the ones
Yeah,
that turn in all the different animals.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it'd
Turn
be
into a
funny
big ass
because you just be
bear.
drunken version, but you're a
Yeah.
big ass drunken bear.
Bear, a boar. Yeah.
And
Oh,
if you eventually end up leveling up enough, you get to turn into a T-Rex, which I could just see
a
an angry
drunken
T-Rex because its arms are too little. Like the T-Rex can't even put the beer to its mouth because it's like my arms are so tiny. Like,
dude, that's awesome. It just like eats a whole casket. It just like picks the casket up and just like crushes it into its gullet.
you know what I've never seen in any movie, but had to happen with those tiny arms? You never see a version of a T-Rex that's just going full Baloo the bear and scratching itself on rocks or
Oh,
trees.
has to.
And like,
Has
if
to.
you've got itty bitty arms, because you know, the instant you can't scratch your nose because of something, your nose gets more itchy than it's ever been.
Oh yeah.
And so if you're an animal that is evolved with these arms that can't do anything, you know, the nose on that T-Rex at all times of the day is just itching the high hell.
Driving it fucking crazy. Yeah, dude. I mean, so I think about we have a friend that has chickens right in like their backyard here in like they're in Brooklyn, and I love chickens because they're dinosaurs, right? They're just like little bitty tiny fucking dinosaurs, and I love picturing in my head whenever I see a chicken do something, I'm like, that's what T-Rex did. Like, that's how a T-Rex walked. Like, when you see it, like, taking a dirt bath, it's like, big old fucking dinosaur did that. Fucking chicken dinosaur.
Oh yeah, I'm willing to believe there's like if because people are like, oh, what would you do with the time machine? I'm like, I don't want to mess with the timeline, but I'd love to go, like just go back and watch dinosaurs be dinosaurs because I could just see a huge T-Rex flopped over doing what a dog does, being like, there's mud, and just rolling it like,
Oh, yeah. Just hanging the
its
fuck
little
out.
hands just
Little
its
baby
little
hands, just like.
and
Mhm.
then all of a sudden squirrel and it flips back on those legs and it's gone. Like,
Yeah.
squirrel.
Chasing after some shit. Yeah. Yeah, I think the monk though, I think that's what's calling me, man. I think I'm gonna lean into brewer monk.
Yeah, drunken fist monk.
Is it
Monk
drunken?
is actually the class. It's drunken master.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's monks are actually the class I know the least about because I've never been one.
Mm-hmm.
But it is like I do know enough that I know like Drunken Master is the tanky frontliner. You're gonna be having a grand old time just punching. Me?
Yeah, exactly.
Come here.
Yeah. And I think
Dwarfs.
go ahead.
Dwarves suffer because everybody goes 30 feet with movement. Dwarves only go
25. Yeah.
But monks get stupid amounts of extra mobility, which is going to completely negate that.
Dude, I love that. That is great. That is fucking awesome.
You know what? You know why dwarves move 5 feet less than everybody else, right?
Because they're dragging their belly on the ground.
No, because it's literally Gimli.
Dude,
In
that's
the
so
two
hilarious.
towers, when there was a ranger, a human ranger, and there was an elf. Basically, I would say an elven rogue. The two of them
rogue,
were running.
ranger, yeah, same thing.
The heavily armored dwarf fighter was struggling to keep up with them. So the game creators went, oh, so clearly dwarves they're a
Are
little slower than
slower.
everybody else. It's like, no. Dude was wearing heavy armor. He had a great axe on his back. He had multiple other axes. Like in the movie, they gave him a walking axe.
Dude, they gave
It
him
was
a
a
tiny.
cane.
I know I was so pissed at that. It was supposed to be like a giant beast axe, dude. It should have been like as big as he was.
Oh no, he had another. You know, he had a giant axe that was on his back the whole time, right?
I don't remember seeing that.
Single bladed one. Yeah, he had a double-bladed great axe on his back, but the thing was the single-bladed one that you see him use the most.
Yeah, it's the
That was
walking
called
one.
his walking axe.
Yeah.
That's why it had like a handle design on the top of it. So he always had an axe out. So that's why whenever combat suddenly burst out, he had that. But
Yeah, I think I came up with the
did
name.
have
Oh, go ahead.
did have a big old. Yeah, here's a picture of.
Where are you throwing this pic? In our chat? Just throw it in our chat.
Yeah, I'm just giving it to you because that's the one you're in right now, anyway. So here's
There
a
it
picture
is.
of the axes he had. He
Yeah,
had
cool.
he had his pair of throwing axes. He had like the day-to-day I'm chopping stuff axe, which I love that he had a separate axe for that.
Got
He
it.
had his walking axe, which is the one that looks like the cane.
Yup.
And then he had that big. There's scenes you see it on his back. That big two-handed, the big double-bladed
Yeah.
thing on his back.
Yeah. Which is sick. The great axe is
And
sick.
I kind of love the idea of the walking axe because it's something that in the movies, a lot of people forget that if you're going to do as much walking as they do, anyone that hikes that much knows.
Yeah, having
grab
a
a stick.
stick. Yeah, exactly.
Because there's a lot of the times you're going up hills that are a little steep for you,
Yep.
and that stick makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, man, having to being able to push like down the mountain as you're going up is so super fucking useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's sick. That's sick. Great pick too. Yeah, so I think the name that I came up with so far, the working name I came up with this last night is Grombreg Dooley Stout.
Dooley Stout.
Yeah, Dooley Stout.
I love the last name. The first name, I always worry about. Something I consider when I'm making first names is I try not to make them too hard to pronounce because the entire party and the DM
So-
are going to be
Totally, and that's why
You're
you
not
can
gonna
shorten
be
it,
saying
right?
your name.
Grom. Instead of
Yeah.
being like Grombreg,
Yeah, oh.
you can just be like Grom for short. I'm just Grom.
Okay, then that works. That works
Yeah.
perfectly.
Because
Then-
again, I wouldn't,
because-
as a dwarf, right? I'm not even going to give you. You don't get to say my full name. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you get to. I'm known as Grom to you. Grombreg to my family. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
that's name stuff in D&D is one of my favorite pieces of the lore because you know how everybody knows the name of the devil in Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah,
That's actually not his real name because devils lose power
or when
you know what their
the
name is.
exactly.
So everybody
You have
calls
control
him
of
by a fake name.
Yep. Otherwise, everyone could have the whims. Although I did the halfling monk that I made. The halfling monk, because the character that I just said was originally the barbarian, right? But I'll go in and change him. But the halfling monk is still on my list a little bit because his name was Alton Acorn Fist.
Acorn Fist.
Which
That's
is-
just a fancy way to say he's a nut puncher.
Exactly. I was like, oh, that's so good. He's got like people be like, oh, it's because he's got little hands. It's like, yep, sure, that's why. Because he's punching you right in the
So-
scroach.
I used one of my last characters. I'm gonna put it in the chat. This is I don't know how to do.
Bless you. Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, I didn't manage to mute in time.
All
I've
good.
always been a heavy multi-sneezer. When I'm creating a character and I don't have a name yet, this is my default name that I give to all my characters.
Yeah, placeholder.
Because they spawned from that joke of, well, here, let me just give him a placeholder name. And then so I was like, well, wait, how do you D&D-ize placeholder? So he's literally placeholder.
Yeah, holder, placeholder. Yeah, dude, that's so good.
But in our last campaign, because right now I'm just playing a warlock, but in my last campaign I was playing a there's this kind of fighter that I absolutely love. They're called Rune Knights.
Okay.
They use giant runes to enhance their power.
Nice.
A couple times a day they actually get to grow a size. They get to become a large creature.
That's cool.
Now, what's cool is if the room you're in, or like, because you're thinking, well, what if we're going through caves or something? If it can't support the size growth, you still get all the bonuses, but your size will just adjust according to the room you're in.
That's cool.
And what's really cool is, so what we did was, I was a Triton, so like I looked like your basic merman, but
Yep.
when I turned large, I actually would basically become a street shark. I turned into a shark.
Yeah, it's sick.
So,
Shark
like,
man.
I just became King Shark basically. And
That's
so
dope.
what was fun was I named him Bruce.
Bruce.
Everybody
Oh, yeah.
kept going, oh, well, because Bruce is the name of the shark in Jaws, but everybody kept going, oh, that's the name of the shark in Finding Nemo. I'm like, no, it's the name of the shark in Jaws. The shark in Finding Nemo
Is named after
that
the
shark.
Exactly.
But then I made his last name Tiburon because I was like, well, I'm not just saying shark, but I'm saying shark in Spanish.
Nice, dude.
So
That's good.
he walked around just as Bruce Tiburon.
Shark.
Is Bruce Tiburon, the shark of the land.
That's sick, dude. That's cool. Dude, I'm glad you jumped on so we could kind of like map out some of this. I'm really excited for this campaign to start. It has been a long time. Again, I haven't played D&D since the last edition. Oh,
I know 5e. I know it well. I have all the books. I play weekly. There was for a while we were playing multiple times a week. There's actually a really solid YouTube channel called Nerdarchy, and I actually I moderate their Discord. It's one of the only Discords I'm in.
cool.
So like, that's why I was like if you want any tips, I'm like, no, I'm your guy. I'm not gonna come in and go, no, this is your min-maxiest thing. Like, if you want it, I can give you min-maxy stupid builds that you'll just go, oh my god. I save those for one-offs. If we're doing a one-off and we get to play it at higher levels, I'll just be like, screw it. This is my time. I'm gonna bring in.
I've always wanted
I'm
to be a god.
bring in. Yeah.
For sure.
There's a cleric of the storm, basically Tempest clerics, and it can take any spell that is thunder or lightning damage, and they can make it just you don't have to roll. It just automatically whatever the dice you would roll for it. Well, it's an auto. All of them hit for max damage.
Oh shit.
So you multi-class that. Well, yeah, but it's a cleric. Doesn't have all thunder and lightning spells are a little restricted. But you multi-class it with a storm sorcerer, because storm sorcerers have the ability to, when they cast a spell, they can change its element. So suddenly, you have the combination of I can make thunder and lightning spells do max damage, and I can make any spell thunder or lightning.
Yeah.
So I throw a fireball into that group, but it's now a lightning ball.
Yeah,
and
at max
every
power.
die is hitting max power. So I'm gonna upcast that to get even more dice into that.
Yeah.
So that entire area is just death incarnate.
Yeah, nukes.
Which, like, yeah, I know this build. I'm aware that this build exists. I will never run this build.
That's sick, though.
The only min-max build that I'm willing to run is the Barbarian. If you take Bear Totem Barbarians and you take the Circle of the Moon Druids, you end up doing this thing where you become a Barbarian and you have all your damage resistances and stuff, and then like you'll rage, and you'll shapeshift into a bear. And you wade into combat as a bear totem, so you're automatically taking half damage, and so you become this nigh indestructible berserking bear. But if the enemy manages to kill the bear, so if you shapeshift into an animal, if they drop it to 0 hit points, you just revert back to your human form. So if they manage to kill this bear, congrats, you just made me revert into the barbarian that's still standing in your face.
Yeah, dude, that's sick.
So it's like, and then I just turn into a bear again on my next turn. And it's just like, nah. So, like, and the reason I'm willing to run it is, yes, the thing is probably never gonna die, but it's not doing disgusting amounts of damage. It's not gonna
Right.
break the game. So, I'm willing to run it because I'm like, it just means if you're gonna play that frontline tank that's taking all the attention and dishing stuff out in the front line, that's a great build to do it with, and really you're just doing it to let the rest of your party shine.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm willing to run that particular one.
That's cool. That's cool.
There's all sorts of like the funny thing is like when I play with my friends, a lot of the time I'm like, guys, if you want help, I will help you make classes. And every time they've stubbornly been like, no, I'm not gonna, and then they get a little frustrated because my characters, like, again, I'm not min maxed, but I tend to be doing the most.
Yeah,
with my
you have
turn
good
because, like,
synergy.
yeah, and that's what I give myself. And then
Yeah.
like they'll die, and usually they'll secretly like, can you help me make a class? And I do the same thing. I'm like, what are you looking to do? Like, I'm not gonna just hand you a class to say run this because it works good. I want to know like what kind of role play do you want to do? What kind of thing do you want your character to do? And I'm going to help you realize that in the best way I possibly can. And excluding I'm not going to break you.
Yeah.
And I just like doing that because then when people have fun with their because that's the thing, you want people to have fun with their character because
Yeah.
like yes, the game is about role playing, but if you're not making the cool like when combat happens, if you don't feel useful,
Yeah.
that's a sucky feeling. If the guy
absolutely.
next to you is doing 20 damage in average,
Yeah.
and you're doing 8 damage on
Yeah.
average, whether you want to admit it or not, you start building up a little jealousy and
Oh, yeah.
resentment, and
Oh yeah. It's just not as much fun.
but if everybody at the table feels like they're doing useful things, that's just what I want. Like I don't need the god on the field. No,
Totally.
I just want to make sure that the thing that you wanted to do, I'm helping you do that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. That's cool, man. I appreciate that. That's the whole reason why that's why we're playing a game like
So-
that, right? Is to like be able to like literally put yourself somewhere else, like be in an alternate universe and like do a thing.
Yeah. So what were you mentioning to me the other day? Like Grots or something get the
Oh yeah.
Cult
So
status?
when I was looking at the ones that were straight up taken from the GW site, right, from the actual app,
yeah.
they all have at the bottom in the keyword section the in parentheses clan. The Grots do. So Killicans and regular Grots. So it looks like you'll be able to get the clan bonus for Grots.
Oh my god, the mecha army has expanded. And this also means that I can oh god, they're expensive, but I don't care. I can go to Forge World. And I hope they're useful. I don't know what they're like.
The
in
Grot
Ninth,
tanks?
but the Grot tanks.
So Grot tanks are interesting. Grot tanks are, it's one of those things where like they're good. Grot tanks are good, but it's this the whole cost, literally like dollar cost for Grot tank. Do you know what I mean? Like it's because you need enough of them to do a thing as a Grot tank. They're better than Killicans, but they also cost like twice of what Killicans cost, like money wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is
well,
the whole
'cause they're
thing is
Forge
like
World.
yeah, exactly. Like Grot tanks are great, man. Like get yourself some Grot tanks. They'll fucking do the thing. And with the bad moon fucking keyword, they should be even fucking meaner, dude. They'll be even better.
That's so good. That's everything in life I ever wanted. Do Killicans have guns, or are they just melee?
No, Killicans have guns. That's actually why I want Killicans. Is like, if I could actually get rid of the melee on Killicans, I would. Because, again, it's a Grot. So instead of hitting on 5s, all Grot things hit on 4s. So that's why all of my Killicans are going to have missile launchers. Because now my now my missile launchers hit on 4s instead of 5s.
So I'd have the enhanced Bad Moon range, and I'd have the Grot bonuses?
Right, and it would hit on 4s.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I do need an army. Like, I just need a Bad Moon Grot army.
I mean, all pretty much, right? Like, there's no grot generals, but I mean, you could
Well,
convert
yeah,
one and
I
just...
would still. I would still throw like some war bosses and stuff there'd still be some orcs and there'd still be like a Morkanah
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. But I'm just sitting here going, I could literally just show up
Oh yeah,
with it just it'd be an expensive army because I'm
super
gonna like
expensive.
I need a line of tanks and killicans and oh my god, this army.
It'd be decent though. I mean, the again, it would hit well. It would shoot well. Like, it would shoot really well. You could proc bonus. I don't know. Um, Again, you couldn't use the Bad Moon. The more DACA is only on, remember, an infantry, a core troop choice. So it only works on like shoota boys. So for that one to work, you still need a unit of shoota boys. Um, but yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
so that wouldn't work on like that wouldn't work on. Oh, okay.
it would work on probably a regular unit of grots, but like they have pistols, they have grot blasters, so like you'd have to be in like 5 inches of range anyway, or whatever, 6 inches range, or whatever the fucking grot
Okay.
bullshit grot blaster range is.
So I'll still show up with a batch of Bad Moon orcs and shooters and
Yeah, you need
stuff like
shooters.
that,
You
and
want
then I'll just have
shooters. Yeah, you want shoota boys for sure. Shoota boys in a Bad Moon with the DACA rules. They have high output for how much it is. Plus they're off specs, so you can actually take objectives with them. I don't, from what I've seen so far, grots are not. So you're gonna have a hard time holding objectives with them, from what I've seen so far. But that could change. All right,
yeah.
man. It is. I just looked at the time. I gotta jet out of here. And it's pretty much just us hanging out in here anyway. So, as always, dude. Yeah, what's up?
I need the contact information for your friend that does the t-shirts.
Oh, sure, Van Keen. Yeah, dude. I'll shoot that to you in the DM. I'll just shoot you a
Okay.
message. Yeah.
Because literally, my friend that does the stickers was just asking me about it, and I'm just like, I mean, I'm talking to you right now. I can,
Sure. Yeah. I'll get you a Van Keen stuff. I know she's like she's like super busy right now. She's like balls deep in shirts, but yeah, dude, reach out. She's super cool. She's always down to like do some stuff.
Okay.
Yep. All right. I'll shoot that, dude. Have a great day, and same
Hey,
bat
you
time,
too.
same bat place tomorrow.